What's up, good people? It's your boy Hoom Boom back with another segment of the Hold Up Show. And hold up, is hip hop dead? Who's responsible? Us? The corporations? Both? Today, I want to get into a few reasons why or how hip hop became dead. Let's get into it. Hold up. So, for me, hip hop has always been at its foundation DJing, MCing, breakdancing, and graffiti. So, I was born in 81. So I got to see a good portion and got to live through a good portion of what is hip hop and how it grew to be what it was today and what it was when people called it its golden years and what it was when people say it was at its most commercialized or most profitable in a capitalist sense, right? I got to see all those eras. I even got to see some of those weird times where hip hop was trying to figure itself out of what its new sound was going to be or what direction it was going to go. I was there to sort of witness all of those things, right? So, here's a few things that because there's just no way that I can or that I'm going to be able to eloquently put into a timeline, as I'm just having a conversation with the bullpen, you feel me? That I can line this up for you perfectly of how this deteriorated. These are just things that popped up into my mind when I think of the term or me feeling as though hip hop is dead, right? Because I look up and it's like, man, it's about to be hot. You know, I'm feeling that spring coming in. I'm seeing stuff growing. The weather's changing. It's getting around that 70 degrees on a consistent basis. It's pushing towards that. We're still sprinkled in with those cold mornings and all that, right? And I always had that feeling that, man, you could just almost through the music feel what the theme of the summer is going to be or feel some type of something like I'm going to be able to make a moment or remember this time based off of this track, this song, or you know what I'm saying? Just the energy in hip hop itself, right? So then I started to look back like, well, we didn't notice it, but they started to actually kill hip hop when they started to kill some of the foundational elements off of hip hop, right? Because now when you say hip hop, people want to refer to it more as a culture of a whole, but when they're speaking of this culture, they're excluding at least two of the elements of hip hop at its foundation, if not three, all out together in this day and age, right? So the first the first sign of hip hop's death, right, was the death of graffiti, album art, uh, posters, stickers, things of a hip hop graffiti element where you felt that that was the backdrop to this artist, right? Bubble letters, however you want to carve it up, graffiti, right? You're almost taking away our introductory title in a way, right? Think back when your favorite superhero cartoon came on. Even if it was shown to you in all black and they just held a shadowy image up there, right? You could tell if that was Superman's logo, Batman's logo, The Flash, Hercules, I mean not Hercules, He-Man, Thundercats, Ninja Turtles, like you could identify with the lettering and the symboling of your superhero character. Just like nowadays you're able to identify the Nike symbol, the Adidas symbol, the Reebok symbol, the Gucci sign, the Louis signs. You're able to identify what they're now calling branding, right? Or it might have always been called branding, but to the hip hop community, branding is still a fairly new thing to the casual hip hop fan, right? Or to the casual business mind that's in that realm, right? Branding is just a new term as of late. It has always been a model and a function of business, but the word and used in the hip hop community as frequently as it's being is upon those that business title is still fairly new, right? And then when you hear of those artists or you hear of the old tragedy stories and things like that, right? Of how they signed a bad contract. They didn't necessarily get into detail of how they signed a bad contract back in those days because it was just wrapped up very quickly as in though I signed a bad contract, got jammed up, I was trying to get out of it, and by the time I got out of it or by the time I was able to maneuver, I wasn't hot no more. My sound was gone, all that good stuff, or the music went past me, right? But in actuality, they don't tell you that, hey, they were locked up in 20 album deals where they didn't own their likeness, they didn't own their name, and they didn't own their logo. They didn't own anything pertaining to their likeness, right? And people didn't necessarily understand what that mean until the veil started getting pulled back on the music industry as time went on because people were such fans and such locked in that the veil just kept getting peeled slowly and slowly and slowly until it was no more mystique about it, right? It's so like oversaturated, just we're overstimulated, which is too accessible, right? To some degree, right? But we're going to get into all that, right? So when I seen graffiti die out in the street at its grassroots level in the classroom when no one was doodling up the illest graffiti in their notebook or didn't have a graffiti notebook or anything like that, right? That kind of art was being shunned or not celebrated. The thing that gave you your Batman logo, sort of say, right? Was taken away from the artist or an element that was the lights was turned out on it through corporate America, right? So once I seen graffiti and your ability to own your symbol and own your name and likeness, once that was, because it wasn't highlighted that this thing got the lights cut out on it, you just noticed it over time, right? Because when the last time you seen any graffiti art display really celebrated? I mean, 2 Chainz really tried with the Trap House, you know, the Pink House in Atlanta, T.I. with his museum, then the Brooklyn Hip Hop Museum and things like that. But We're talking about when's the last time you seen an image of where as though you like, yo, that looked like a ill scene to shoot a hip hop music video because it's gritty, graffitied up, natural, and people hang out there and it's just a chill spot, right? It just look all hip hop and you got some skateboarders and whatever, right? You just it this feels like hip hop. You only see that now on like certain abandoned buildings, you know, and it doesn't have any new graffiti on there, no new tagging. It has old tagging because the building's already falling apart, and then the tagging is old or 10 plus years old or whatever. And it just gives you a nostalgia when I ride past it and I look and I see it and I like, man, if I'm still, I'm upset I never got to shoot a video there, and now they look like they're about to tear that down. You know what I'm saying? Like that scene or that imagery of what used to be raw into the core of what hip hop was is about to be eliminated, right? So that was the first thing, right? So then the next element that they started to kill was or dancing. Dancing. And I know that's hard to believe because music is meant for dancing, right? But they slowly but surely killed dancing. Because if you think about who is a rapper in demand right now that you would put on to get the party dancing, I can only think of one person, the baby, right? And that's not to say that there aren't party jams and things of that nature that because there's plenty of stripper music and things like that, and all that, you know what I'm saying? But when I say dancing, I don't mean to immediately start twerking. And I don't mean to immediately start doing some routine line dance. I mean, you hear their music and it makes you genuinely want to dance. You know what I'm saying? Just genuinely want to dance, right? Not the latest booty popper, so to say, right? But it's just a genuine oh snap, this is like when I hear this I just gotta hey, and it's not nothing to, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of like the baby has like what they would deem like stripper music, but I think he has a lot more of like like the Jabberwockies, you're able to actually just dance to the music like the dance community appreciates his music because he gives them something to pop and lock and bring and highlight that break dance element of hip hop, so to say, right? Not choreographed, but actually break dance, actually just dance, you know what I mean? Just actually just house party dance. You know what I'm saying? Not hip hop class dance. You know what I'm saying? And 1, 2, 3 and pop. Like just genuinely just want to get up and dance, right? So when I seen them start to eliminate the dance, because you could be able to be the guy and dance back then, right? Big Daddy Kane was a dancer. But Big Daddy Kane was all hip hop. And Big Daddy Kane would still punch you in your face. Big Daddy Kane was still smooth, you know what I mean? Debonair pimp style, but he could also didn't mind, didn't care to bust a move, get sweaty, bust a split, like dance. Actually, like have you in there like, oh, he getting it, right? Heavy D. You put on a Heavy D song, you just want to dance. You don't want to twerk. You don't. My grandma would hear Heavy D and get up and get to moving. And it wasn't like she was getting up to moving to pop her ass. She was getting up to moving to, and because the music was that uplifting, that feel good. You know what I mean? I got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, girl. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about, right? And then they slowly but surely, like, it's partly just the evolution of us, because when we see like, oh, they doing the Flavor Flav, they doing the Humpty Hump, you know what I'm saying, they doing the this. So the corporations here, they're doing the what? That Humpty dance is bringing in buku. Hey, get me another Negro over here. Hey, get him to do the Humpty dance. We're gonna call it the Humpty dance. All right, just take out a few steps and wiggle it differently. Come on, you know how to do it. Hip hop it. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you would get, you know, I don't want to point this. It's no disrespect to him, you know, but when you got to the Soldier Boy dance, you know what I'm saying? Like, that looked so choreographed. That was not like, let me get in the club and like, ain't nobody was doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did it for a hot second. You got a kick out of seeing older people do it. It was promoted correctly. It was, you know, it was placed business wise in a perfect situation. The stars lined up business wise to make that go how it went. But at the elements of hip hop, of just genuine, I guess, break dance and just feeling the vibes of the music, and you just get, it wasn't I mean, you like, you know what I'm saying? Like swag surfing, right? Why do you think swag surf will always work? Because it's just natural. It is something that you would actually get in the club and do. Like, you would do it without even knowing you're doing it, not even to that song. Like, it just be, oh. I mean, it was just the perfect combination, right? But these corporations were finding ways to cookie cutter it, take the feeling out of it, take the grassroots out of it, you know. And it was like when the Bay Area had their run of their organic culture, style, and dance, like, you could tell that was organic, like, that came from the street. Like, nobody was in no corporate office saying, hey, they're doing the jerk. We need you to do the irk. You got, you know, because their culture probably was not going to take to it, or so. And even if it did, we would have never heard of it. To, you know what I'm saying? But it you know, they had their competition. You know, it was just those songs that made a little bit of noise, that had a dance behind it, but it was just like, it was too gimmicky. You could feel it in you. The hip hop in you would not let you accept it, no matter how much they tried to force it on you, or no matter how much it sounded good that first time, but then you just see right through it that second time. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, oh, I'm trying to see you trying to shove this down my throat, and it already didn't look authentic and true to itself, right? So once they got rid of the dance, and once they got rid of graffiti, I knew eventually they were going to drown this out. They were going to put so much baking soda on this work that the fiends weren't going to come on the block no more. So then we get to the DJ. To be a DJ, it was a special skill. It was a special skill. Now let some of the older heads tell you it was whoever had the ability and parents was in enough position to get the equipment, or they hustled enough and bust a few people, enough people upside the head to steal to get the equipment or steal someone else's equipment, whatever. But it took a special individual with a special kind of ear and a special creativity to hear things in music that you would never be able to hear, that could blend things together that you would never in your mind think musically and tempo wise, and just other elements that they're hearing that are just next level. You had to have that ear, right? And you had to be able to scratch on those vinyls, right? On that mixer and those vinyls, you had to have talent, right? So what happened? It was all about the DJ was the man. Everybody was looking at the podium and watching the hands go. He kept you dancing. The inception of the break dancers off the breaks that the DJ was playing, right? So then we started to see them chop the DJ out of the picture, because it used to be DJ, then the name of the rapper, DJ, then the name of the rapper, DJ, so this person, DJ, Jeff, Fresh Prince, DJ, Polo, and damn. You get what I'm saying, right? We don't have that because they phased the DJ out of it. They almost forced the DJs to become producers or go to the radio and play the songs they want you to play, or find out a way to make those songs hot so we could pay you under the table to play that song more, or pay you under the table for making it hot because you did something creative with it to make it even sound better than it probably actually was to begin with, right? Because that's what DJs could do, right? They could cut your song up in a way that people, oh snap, I never even heard it done like that. You know what I mean? I used to didn't like this. Now you made me like this song. You know what I mean? Like, that has happened because of the talents of the DJ. So when they started to pluck these DJs out of the picture, or put them on the radio under sort of constraints and told them they can only play what we tell you to play, or you won't be heard no more, and things like that, or the DJs were getting the payola under the table to play garbage that they would never even want to put attached to their name, we seen the lights on the way to getting turned out on hip hop. So then we're down to the last element, which is MCing. And we all seen the elevation and the evolution and the just all that comes with MCing. The yes y'allers to the most intricate rap you probably ever heard. All of that, right? And it took a special kind of personality, presentation, and just overall sense of hip hop to be considered an MC, that you could just grab the mic, go up there, whatever the temperature of the crowd is, be able to spit the right rhyme at that moment that will, you know what I mean, capture the audience, like get them engaged to what you about to put down, right? Because they'll lock in or lock out within the first 4 bars. Like, oh, he's spitting some bull. I don't want to hear this. The mood of this ain't even right. Or, oh, he about to kill everybody. Right? Like, the first 4 bars are that first 4 that first entry of your beat, and just what you about to go, or even if you don't have a beat, your first 4 bars, your presence, your how you delivering it, the flow of it makes or breaks you. That's why when you never heard or you ever see those shows that they A&R or whoever was going through CDs or cassette tapes and they would listen to 10 seconds and you're like, oh, no, that ain't it. Because it's a sort of feeling you get, right? It's you could tell within, you know what I mean? And sometimes you could get that feeling and then when the beat drop or they get into whatever they know and they lose you somewhere, like they switched up something that was like you were on to something and then you just lost me and then I tossed it. You know what I'm saying? Like them people that set that mood and then they start delivering, bombing away on the lyrics and in tune with the, turn that, bring that back. And they start, only thing they remembering is how the song really came on, like the first 20 to 40 seconds, because it was just, you know what I mean? Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you do. I'm from the streets where the hood was spot. Like, come on, you knew when you heard you know what I'm talking about when it, you know what I mean. And some of them could catch you, and then the actual beat drop, you're like, what is this? They just mess it up. I want to sample that first 10, 15 seconds because they was on to something and they just killed it, right? And then we seen the watering down of the lyrics, or the oversaturation of social context that would take out the feeling of the song. We've seen all the evolution of lyricism, right? To the point that the corporation say, hey, just keep saying go, 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 go over and over again, They'll love it, right? They started microwaving chants and dumb down things as much as they could. They wanted your grandma to a 5-year-old to be able to say it within 1 or 2 listens to the hottest beat that they could pay for, right? And along the way, it lost its sauce, it lost its substance, it lost the thing that kept you fully engaged. And just music, period. Music is timeless when it has context and depth to it, right? So that is what I've seen as far as the dying of the 4 elements in their sequence, right? That was just the fastest summary I could give of that without trying to go too in depth, right? Now let's go over these other things as fastly as I can, right? So I have a couple points here. The older class silencing the younger threats, right? So back in the 80s, you would be hot, you would be the man, and they would tell the youngins, oh, you can't mess with me, you ain't ready for this yet, da-da-da-da-da. But you're in a bad contract, and whatever your next project is, the corporation don't believe in you no more, or the record label don't believe in you because the sound changed from last summer to this summer, and you ain't dropping it like you was before, or you got a little money and got comfortable, so your music ain't hitting the same, and that same youngster that you were told last summer wasn't ready for you is now the hot thing this summer, and because you in such a bad contract and didn't make some X amount of dollars to I guess compete on your own without the label's backing, another summer go by and you're out the game, right? You were the guy that had the hot song the other year, right? Oh, you don't remember when so-and-so had it? Yeah, that joint was hot, right? Mind you, the song had content, the song was good, it lasted the test of time. When people came back to look back at hip-hop, your song was still being played and whatever and appreciated, but at that time, Young Bull got you up out the way, right? And that's how fast it was happening, right? Until some of the nepotism of the music industry started to come into play, and or some basically nepotism. A rapper who went broke is now got the hottest thing. He's using his connections to get the hottest thing a label deal, but now he's like, hold Tell them you want your publishing. Tell them you want your mechanicals. Tell them you want these royalties. Tell them you want such and such amount for per diem on tour and and then they be looking like, who told you all that? All right, your song's making so much damn money right now. All right, let's do it, right? You so hot, we got to do it, right? Because we're missing money. Every conversation that's taking too long before you sign that piece of paper, right? So now these artists are getting a little more than their previous artists just based off knowledge of the music industry and how the other artists were getting messed over back then, right? So then it gets to a point where you had the innovators like the Jay-Z's and the Dame Dashes and the Rap A Lot Records, the Death Row Records, the Bad Boy Records, the Slip and Slides, the LaFaces and things like that, right? They're coming in, they're independent, they understand how to accumulate all the money, right? Or at least a bulk, 80%, 70% of the take-home profit, right? Without being overly charged on a cup of coffee, not being charged $50 for a cup of coffee and $1,000 a night for the Red Roof Inn. You know what I'm saying? On their budgets or on their, sheets when they go back to look at the expenses, right? So now that means you have more money. You have a way to at least last longer in the game to possibly get hot or possibly exploit your sound or whatever the sound is of the time that made you hot for as long as you could, right? And with faith on your side and skills and all that, you're able to be successful on not just your first album. You're still successful in selling on your second and third or your fourth or whatever, right? So now you're planted in the game. You're planted in there. They can't get rid of you now. You know too much as far as business acumen and things like that. The secrets to still generate money from what you've already made so that you could try to generate new money with what you're trying to drop now while you think you still got some attention on you, right? Or that you're still in a position to do that. But in the midst of that, the new hot guy, say he coming to you trying to be signed because you're a businessman. Well, you're signing under you because you're still trying to be number one, so you're not putting them number one, even though you would probably make more money off them than you would make yourself, off of yourself, right? It got to a point where so many of the older class, because they were successful, and when I say that, excuse me, sinuses. So when I say that, I speak of like the Puffies, the Jay-Z's, the Nas's, and then now we have like this newer class of what would be considered like those people who could possibly pull up a new artist and put them in a position or block them from ever getting in position, which would be like the J. Cole's, the Futures, the Kendricks, the Drakes, right? Mind you, we all seen them give alley-oops to plenty of people we didn't know or that weren't fully mainstream and things of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they had the ability to block somebody or help propel somebody that we don't know, right? Those are the guys. They are the ones that are in the positions of the previous Nas's, Jay-Z's, Puffy's, DMX's, those guys, right? And then there was another level of gatekeepers behind them, which are the execs, the actual bigger major label owners and things like that. Those people, right? Those people we don't know. Those people we aren't the most familiar with. Then let's not forget about the superstar executive slash manager slash, you know what I mean? They got so many hats in the game to block you out or propel you, the other people, you know what I mean? The other people that no one ever talks about, right? The certain stylist, the certain manager, the certain road guy, the certain publicist, the certain agent that so and so at these labels only deal with, or so and so at these award shows only deal with, or so and so on these networks only play your stuff, or so and so at these streaming companies are only stream your stuff, right? So now that was one thing, right? Because, and let's also not forget with corporate backing, right? Because we've seen that now. Just we've seen the same corporation that two artists are signed to back the one that was winning and stop backing the one that wasn't winning, even though he's still winning under you because you're making money off of him, right? But they will do that. They will do that. They will just look at what's winning and just continue to go with what's winning. We're going to spend on what's winning the most. We don't even care if you're still winning at a certain degree. If you're not winning above or beyond where you've always been winning at, we're going to go with what's winning, right? So older class silence and the younger threats were corporate backing, right? Then the gatekeepers, the good and the bad. So you have these gatekeepers, these executives, these DJs, these older figures in hip hop that just have their hand on the pulse, and they have their hand, or they have the ear of the people that are the movers and shakers, right? They would mostly filter and stop the bull crap from getting to in the game, or would make sure what's supposed to be heard got heard, right? And then somewhere in the midst of nepotism and other things and popularity and just having money or whatever the case may be, somehow or another, that filter got dirtied with it's making money. It's got the attention. It's not that it has talent, not that it needs to be heard, not that this is the next hottest thing, not that I'm going to cultivate this into something, not that there's without a shadow of a doubt a megastar, superstar, worldwide international star here. No, they've got the attention of whatever with this rinky-dink play song that is making money, and I want to capitalize on it. I want to put a little steroids on it, and I want to try to squeeze something out of this. And I don't care if they don't make another hit. They're hot right now. Filter got dirty, and a lot of bad stuff, talentless stuff, or stuff that could not withstand the test of time got through, right? So then it became too accessible, right? Too accessible. We got to see backstage. We got the all access. We got on the tour bus. We got on this. We seeing groupies. We seeing this. It lived like this, but then rented mansions, rented cars, rented this, that, and the third. And said, man, they're the man. They're living a life. And then a year later, that was rented. That was an image for the record label. Told me, dude, that's not me to the core. When the deal is over or the sound and move past, and you're like, man, you really went broke real quick. And it's like, they've never had it. It was never theirs. It was just part of the budget. It had it for a month, few weeks, and had to give it back, right? So then, in that accessibility, which I kind of attribute to Making the Band, right? That show, Making the Band, I think that accelerated some of that as far as it being too accessible, right? Because you started to get more into the personality of the person and not the talent or how good the music was, because me personally, I don't think the music was good. It just looked like a bunch of mishmash characters that they put together and they tried to make some money off of it, right? But that's just an example, you know what I mean? Because I was one tuned in fully on that show. I'm mad I didn't get a chance to audition. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you knew hip hop, that was where you was at for hip hop at that time. Like, they was it. Like, let's not get it confused. But the accessibility of what we were seeing behind the doors, and them, the managers they were picking, the way that they had to sign contracts, and all the little games that Puffy, the executive, was doing to them, that he was like, oh, he just gatekeeping, because this one that he sent home was actually more talented than the one he gets. So what is he seeing in this one? Oh, oh, they'll walk the fastest to go get the cheesecake. They'll do all the weirdo stuff just to remain making music, even though they're not the most talented. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, right? It was just a glimpse of that of a possible what could. But then again, they say, well, that ain't never going in the music industry. That was just for that particular experience or whatever, right? But then you turn around and hear that, Puffy and Jay-Z was you know, yo, you got something to do with so and so artist. Cause I don't like the way that they talk. Oh no, that's my artist. I'm making money. I'm invested in. All right, well then I won't kill their career. You know what I mean? But I need you to do me a favor. Tell them to chill out and let my young boy feature in on one of their songs. And we snatch all the royalties for that, or let him come on this tour and don't tell him it's my tour, but I'm only gonna pay him this amount. Like you never know the politics of what's going on behind the scenes, so that we got to see enough of that to know that this is what's going on, and it became a little bit more about whatever else is going on behind the scenes than the actual music, right? Then the business side of it, chasing a sound or an image, right? So then you had at a time where there was all these R&B singers that had, I would like to call like the Aaron Hall look, like the bald head, the dark sunglasses, and the wife beater tank top with some type of vest, or you know what I mean, looking like they about to go do an assassination or something like that, right? It was the same with hip hop. It was a time where everybody was in fatigues and looking the grimiest, and then it was a time everybody was in a button up or in a jersey, and then it was a time that they were trying to wear a skirt and not call it a skirt, and you know what I mean, wear a purse but not call it a purse. Then there was a time that everyone was a rock star and everybody wanted to be rock and roll dressing, and it was, you know what I'm saying, like they had like, oh, you don't look like Jim Jones, so you know what I mean, or yo, you're nice, you're good, you're talented, but we're gonna dress you up like Jimmy, and then we're gonna roll you out there and sink or swim. You're like, but this isn't true to me. Hey, this is what's working, right? This is what's green in the boardroom. This is what's in the black, right? Whatever you're talking about, that was in the red, right? That's not popping no more, right? So we're gonna dress you. You could do that music, right? But we're gonna dress you like this. We're gonna put you in these scenes of imagery, and we'll see what goes on, right? So the business side, chasing a sound or an image, right? Already got into the wealth, power, and longevity side of the older class, silencing the younger threats with corporate backing. Then the sweatshop hit factories. When we started to find out that these artists don't write the music, they didn't come up with the hook. That didn't come from them. They didn't pick that beat. The producer made the song and constructed it for them. All they had to do was just go in there and just rap something because they already had them in mind, or something such like, or this song wasn't really for that person. It was for this person. And you're like, oh, I wish I would have really heard him on that person. But some business in the background, the person who made the beat no longer liked the rapper, or the rapper messed with one of his girls. It's bullcrap, right? So once we started hearing about the sweatshop hit factories that were just, okay, I got this song, just go out here on the internet and find somebody that fits this, that, and the third image, and we got a hit song for them, right? We could push the button on this. They won't make a dime because they didn't write the lyrics. They make the music. They don't own none of their publishing. All they get to do is make money off the shows. Oh, not even that. We got them in a 360 deal. They can't sell t-shirts. We own their likeness. We own all this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So the sweatshop hit factories are part of the death of hip hop, right? Are part of the final nail in the coffin of the final foundational thing of hip hop, which is the MC. And this is how they, throughout the years, tore them down. Like they knew, like this is what had to be done to tear them down, right? So then the image imposters. right? The image imposters. It first chimed out to me through CB4, and it was like, oh, this is hilarious. This can't be real. But then allegedly CB4 was supposed to be like NWA selling the image to promote gangster rap or propel all that from this alleged secret meeting to fulfill private prisons and all that good stuff, right? So the image imposters are the people who don't write, don't freestyle, don't know the history of hip hop, ain't hard, from the suburbs, but they gang, all that killed a lot of authenticity in hip hop, and it got to the point where you're hearing so many deaths, so many blickies sliding in one verse that make Marilyn Manson blush. Like, you know. So yeah, those are my thoughts on why hip hop is dead, man. And how they slowly but surely, in a summary message, killed all four fundamental foundational pieces that make hip hop hip hop. So now even the hip hop platforms don't even discuss hip hop music or treat it like a dreaded topic because it is. It's not good. It's not, you know. And this is not like, we all know that the Drakes, the Kendricks, the Futures, the J. Coles, those individuals, the Cardis, the Migos, like, are when, you know, the Migos were together, or it's like, they were making great music, right? No one's denying any of that, right? No one's denying any of that, right? But now it's like, what is the new crop? There is no new crop, and the new crop that we hear, I mean, besides Glorilla has been a very pleasant surprise. I've always liked Lotto, but I think we're getting overly saturated with all the other women trying to come up, and I get it. Women are selling it. It's that corporate type of thing. Like, oh, we need to make another Nicki Cardi. You know, we need the Spanish version, the Chinese version, the black version. We need the South version, the West version, the East version. We need the Midwest version. Like, we need the Chinese version. We need the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see it. If it's going in the green, they're going to cookie cutter it as fast as they can and emulate it, imitate it to the best of their abilities, right? You just seen it with, like, what was that? 1501 with, okay, Meg, you did it. I'll show you that I can make another one. Erica Banks, bam. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like no disrespect to either one, but from the outside looking in, you could see it. Come on, bro, you went and got a somewhat similar thing. Instead of a stallion, you got a little shorty with the, yeah, I mean, with the yams. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I want to know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, share. It's your boy Home Boone. Is hip hop dead? Who's responsible? Did we kill it through evolution? Or did the corporations kill it chasing profit and we follow suit chasing the check as artists? You let me know. It's your boy Home Boone. It's another segment of the Hold Up Show. Peace.